Okay, I know we've got some gentlemen in here, but ladies, this one's for you. Don't you remember how difficult it may have been when, and I'm really getting personal here, when you had your menstruation cycle, when your period started, if I could break it down for you? I remember how difficult that was to navigate. Perhaps, I mean, what words come to mind? Was it surprising? Was it shocking? Was it uncomfortable? So just think about this. If you're living in Zambia, a possibility is you don't go to school because your menstruation starts. There's inadequate access to supplies. There's a lack of instruction on what to do. So these absences from school leads to high dropout rates and low test scores. The Kozo Girls Initiative fights this stigma by offering cost-effective, reusable sanitary pads. To date, the initiative has sold over 4,000 pads. From PACT, please welcome Kozo Girls.
Please have a Kozo pad.
Just a quick warning to all the gentlemen that are here tonight that we're about to talk about menstruation. However, you are not allowed to leave this room. First of all, we would like to show you this short film. I can relate to the girl in the film. My name is Emily Lubinda, and that's me on the left when I was 17 years old in my native Zambia. I used to miss school 2 to 3 times every month because I could not afford to buy sanitary pads. I remember one time I did not have pads. I had to cut the pocket out of my uniform to use as a menstrual pad. I leaked anyway, and I went home immediately. It was so embarrassing that I had to miss school the following day, and that I had to miss a test. Being a girl, I felt excluded, hopeless, and it was so difficult to catch up. This is one common problem for girls in my country. One product that would have helped me is this reusable sanitary pad. I want to convince you to support our social enterprise, which is a group of young Zambian women making reusable sanitary pads. The social impact of Kozo Girls is in twofold. Firstly, Kozo Girls gives skill training and livelihood opportunities to young women like myself. Secondly, our aim is to provide Kozo pads to as many schoolgirls as possible in Zambia. Our vision is a Zambia where no girl should miss school just because she is a girl. As you can see, Kozo pads are attractive products. Using this chitenge fabric makes it look authentically Zambian because every woman in Zambia owns at least one chitenge fabric. There are over 1.5 million women and girls in Zambia of reproductive age living below poverty line in Zambia, meaning that their periods would probably be keeping them home rather than at work or at school. And not addressing this issue would literally be holding my country back.
Just checking, we've still got all the gentlemen in the room. Excellent. So we have sold over 4,000 pads to date, but we want to do so much more. We have a valid plan to scale, but we need your support. So our current model is to sell these pads in bulk to service providers who then distribute them free of charge to end users. In Zambia, this market includes over 300 NGOs working on girls' education and water and sanitation, and the government of Zambia, which has publicly pledged to give pads to keep girls in school. Many of these groups are already giving out menstrual hygiene items as part of their programming, but usually they're giving single-use disposable pads, which are less cost-effective for their program. We estimate around $24 more expensive per girl per year as compared to giving them reusable pads, and less impactful for the girls receiving the pads, especially if they receive pads as part of a one-off donation, and obviously also worse for the environment. There are so many opportunities for Kozo girls in Zambia. Right now, there is a UN agency looking for a supplier of 36,000 reusable pads per year. $20,000 would enable us to double our production and stand a good chance of meeting the requirements for that bid and for other bids like it. Obviously, more than 20,000 would enable us to do lots of other things. Unfortunately, I don't have the time to go into those now. Emily is our manager in training, and along with the 9 other Kozo girls, she is earning money by making an essential consumer item that is needed by girls and women all over Zambia, today, every day, and forever. And in a country where young women are the most vulnerable group to new HIV infections due to poverty, and where 1/5 of girls are skipping school every month on their period, the social return on investment in Kozo girls is huge, and we have a viable plan and a market that is ready for our product.
That beautiful woman you see sitting on that machine, that is me. Sitting on that machine makes me feel so proud because I can contribute financially to my household. And knowing that I'm sewing this pad on that machine, knowing that it will help a girl out there who and doesn't have to go through what I went through. Ziko mokwambili.
All right, Kozo girls, Marcus has some questions for you. And if you could remember to face the audience when you respond.
Great, thank you. Just want to say I'm clearly the most qualified judge. And the beads of sweat in my forehead, that's just my confidence coming through. So my first question is, do you all have a patent for this product, and what is your current competition in the market?
I'm sorry, I actually have a hearing problem. I'm finding it a bit hard to hear what you're saying.
Yeah, sure. I said, do you all currently have a patent for the product, and what's your current competition in the market?
Okay. So this is not yet patented, and we're not even shy about sharing our pattern. I mean, when Emily mentioned there's 1.5 million girls and women living below the poverty line in Zambia, we'll happily give them our pattern. They can sew their own pads.
Wow. That's amazing.
And
so
there is some competition. Mm-hmm. There are several other groups making reusable pads, but none of them are trying to scale in the way that we are. We think our biggest competition within Zambia is from disposable products, okay. And there are some groups who are already distributing reusable products as part of their programming, NGOs, etc., but they're bringing them in from outside of Zambia. They're not being made within Zambia, so they're not benefiting the local economy.
Great, great. And so just to ask a little bit about the design, what improvements have you all made since the inception to lower your margins? And what plans do you make to continue to try to lower your margins so that you can be able to scale the product?
She can't get you.
I'm sorry.
I'm really sorry. I'm finding it really hard to hear.
What I said was, what improvements have you all made to the design in order to lower your margins so that you have a better capability to scale the product?
Okay, the first improvement that we've made is with the poppers that hold the pad. At first, we were using the ones that we saw, and it took much of our time to start sewing. So we just use these. We just punch in. It just takes a second just to punch in. And the other thing, we've also been able to find a fabric that is more absorbent. Thank you.
But the fabrics that we use at the moment are all sourced within Zambia.
Okay.
And one thing that we would definitely use investment for is to do more research and experiment with different kinds of technical fabrics, which can be thinner. If you see this pad, it's a little bit thick for our liking. We would love to be able to use thinner but more absorbent fabrics, but they're not available in Zambia at the moment. So that's the kind of thing we would use investment for. But at the moment, because we need to scale, we don't have the economies of scale to start bringing in those kinds of fabrics from overseas.
Great. My last question is, I heard that you mentioned that the local government has already pledged to support this initiative. Do you all already have a relationship, or how are you planning to build that relationship to get involved?
Yes, we do have a relationship. Before coming here, of course, we had to meet with the Minister of Education, who's very eager to work with us.
Yeah,
Right.
so the Ministry of Education, we met with them literally the week before we came here. They actually have a program where they're paying school fees for 25,000 Zambian school, like the most vulnerable girls in Zambia, through a World Bank-funded program, and they're interested in giving them all pads. So that would be that's another example of a big contract that we could potentially win.
Great. That's amazing. Good luck.
If we get investment.
All right. Kozo girls and Marcus, thank you so much.
Thanks.